But all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live. We're at 5. We have RIELLE here today.
Hi.
I like what y'all did with the name because I know the real name. If you want to say it.
Yeah, it's Gabrielle.
And then y'all, ooh, that's smooth. I love it. Because when I read it, I'm like, that sounds like Gabrielle. Like, I like the way they did that.
Yeah, all we did was just cut off the GAB.
Hey, you gotta have a cool name, man. It's part of the game. But thank you guys for coming.
Thank you for having us.
I met you before, even though you don't remember. She just introduced herself outside. She said, "Oh my God, nice to finally meet you." I said, "We met before."
Listen, that entire night that we met, he was like Mark, CEO of Natural Bridge Records. He was having me meet person after person and just moving me around.
No, I love it.
And so don't get me wrong, it was just a wild experience.
No, I love it. It's okay.
So,
and that was what, January? So
yeah, that was January.
That was in Noma. Shout out to we were just talking about Noma. Shout out to Celise, Unique, Nino Flex. He's the one that introduced us. He was DJing.
Yes, he was.
Played
DJing
your record like 15 times that night.
He did. Shout out to you because that was incredible.
No, Nino's great. So let's start. How you feeling? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
What is all this? How does all this happening? Like, how do you feel?
It's really surreal. It's a very surreal experience just because it's something we've been working, towards for almost a year. And so the fact that it's taken off the way that it has is absolutely mind-blowing and so incredible at the same time. So I'm incredibly grateful, humbled, but also so excited.
Yeah, because I seen you're in the media circuit. You're doing interviews. Thank you for being here. This, me and Mark have been talking about this for a while. So just for the people to understand, because when I met you, you had like 400 followers.
Yeah.
So when explain to people that need to understand that from the ground, that is the real. Like, that's not just a slang term. No. You're not trying to sugarcoat it. You and Mark started this from zero.
Yeah, we started this from zero. So when he signed me, I had no following whatsoever, like nothing. We built that account from absolutely nothing to what it is now. And through hard work, perseverance, just really getting on the ground and grinding and taking any opportunity that we can, we've built this community to what it is. And I'm so grateful for the people who follow, the people who watch, the people who are able to see what we're doing and connect with it. Those are the people those who understand it will gravitate to what we're doing. And those are the people who follow, and those are the people who support. So that's kind of where our mentality is at, and the fact that it's reached so many is incredible. It's insane.
No, because I think, because there's a point that people don't know who you are. There's a point that people don't know who I am, right?
Yeah.
And they say there's a term now that everybody uses when you go down the rabbit hole. You just told me you went down my page just to,
Absolutely.
And you was like, yo, I love it. So it's understandable. If people don't know who you are, it's okay.
Yeah.
Now you know me.
Right.
Give me a chance. Come to a show.
Absolutely.
Follow my page. Check my YouTube. So that's part of the growth.
Absolutely.
That night when I met you, Nina was like, yo, let's go. So I'm in the car and I'm checking you out. And when I met you, I'm like, yo, she's like the sweetest thing. And now the song's playing. And now I see how you literally dance into your own song. And you're like, that's my song. And it's like, that right there got me. And I'm like, I need to repost. And, Mark thanks me all the time. Me and Mark talk a lot on Instagram. And he keeps on thanking me. But it's so natural. Like, what me reposting, me interviewing you right now, it's just, I want to be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
When you're receiving a Grammy and you say thank you to the people that supported me, she's talking about me, goddammit.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
And that's what it comes down to.
100%.
So before we get into the music, can we get a little personal, about life and where you're from?
Sure. So
Born and raised.
So I was born here. Actually, I was born in Jersey, but I was raised here in New York. And my mom is Puerto Rican. My dad
Mom's
is Italian.
here, by the way.
Mom is here. So my mom's Puerto Rican. My dad is Italian. Nice. And so, music was always something that was infiltrated into my life from the very beginning. And so I always gravitated to music. And, I wasn't going to be that athletic kid. That my dad wanted. He wanted me to like play soccer or play basketball or swim. And I was like, no, that's not happening.
Facts.
Not at all. And my mom was always very accepting of my artistic nature. And so she basically was like, that's it. She's going to be whatever she wants. And so I've been very fortunate that both of them have been incredibly supportive of this journey and incredibly supportive of who I am as an artist and what I want to say and what I want to do. And so, yeah.
What type, because you said Boricua.
Yes.
And Italiano.
Yes.
So did you get the music from both?
Yeah, I did. But it was so both of them love Spanish music.
Okay.
Both of them really love. My father really embraced my mom's culture. So salsa was always very prominent in both homes. Reggaeton was always very prominent. Demba was very prominent, like all of those subgenres. And so being able to really be immersed in that, but also like my grandparents, like on my father's side, was always into very classical sort of music. So like Tony Bennett, Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra,
Hell yeah.
Sammy Davis Jr. Those artists were always something that was very prominent in our home. And then, just me exploring, I found my own set of genres that I love. And so it just made me into the artist that I am today.
No, I love it. 'Cause that's the Boricua Italiano. It's just I can see it now. I can see it now. Now I'm like, there it goes.
there it is.
What kind of so where did you grow up? You born in Jersey, grew up in the Bronx or Jersey?
No, so I grew up in Larchmont. So I grew up right here in Westchester.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but my mom and dad are both from the Bronx, so I spent a majority of my time there. So if I wasn't in school or hanging out with my little friends at the time, I would be in the Bronx visiting family or going out to eat or doing my hair or doing pretty much everything over there. So as much as I'm like, yeah, I'm born and raised in New York and in Westchester, I do have a lot of that cultural roots, those cultural upbringings from the Bronx for sure. Absolutely.
No, that's fire. What kind of kid were you growing up?
I was a really sweet kid. I was like, we were just talking about that yesterday, me and my mom. Like, I was a really sweet kid, like really happy, like really just full of energy, full of like light. And so the fact that I'm able to like make her proud, I feel like, where I am now is making that little version of myself really, really proud. So I'm really happy that I'm able to do what she always wanted to do.
So this is going to be great because when you become a super duper star, you're going to be a nice super duper star. Because I
hope so.
I hear horror stories of artists, and Mark can probably attest to this, that they become douchebags. It's like, bro, how did you were nice when you were nobody. So let's just, and I'm sure mom's going to make sure that you stay grounded.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But no, I've always said that in every, interaction, and especially with my team, like the main thing and the main sort of pillar that I want to always have is kindness and authenticity. Those are the two main core values that I want to exhibit and really illustrate through everything that we do. And so Mark and I have always been discussing about philanthropy. That is something that as an artist that I think every artist that has a platform should be able to give back and be able to really, illustrate that we're people too. But to be able to, the position that we've been so graciously granted, to be able to do that for others. And so that's definitely something, kindness and authenticity. So those are the people that we bring around. I have an amazing team that are so kind, so authentic, so funny. And I love that just because I'm able to be exactly who I am. And I want to remain grounded and just be one of those like nice superstars that you can like go up to and you're like, hey, like, can I get a picture? Of course you can get a picture. Like, hey, how are you? Like, nice to see you. Just those kinds of interactions, those types of moments are the ones that I'm really looking forward to.
No, I love it. And like I said, you are the, when I met you twice. So, sorry. Come on, it's too easy.
No, it's funny. Listen, I'm with it. I'm always down for jokes.
Yeah, you should have. I wish, and it was only me and her because her team was doing something else. She was like, "Oh my God, so nice to finally meet you," and she meant that. I'm like, "We met before." It was so cute. But it was so cute. I loved it. So I heard from the grapevine that you're a genius, like super duper straight A, 4.0 GPA. Like, what's going on with that?
So I'm currently in school. I graduate this May, so I graduate next month.
On top of all this, you're still in school?
Yeah.
Nice.
I take 5 classes, 2 internships, and I graduate in May. And so grades have always been really important to me just because originally my initial plan before any of this ever happened was to go to grad school. That was initially my plan. I was going to go to grad school. I was going to go to Miami, do my thing for 2 years, and then basically just take over the world in PR. That was initially my plan. Mark met me, and then that changed very drastically, very quickly. And I'm so happy it did. But, my mom's an educator. And so school was always something that was very, drove home in the sense that with an education, you can do anything. And that's a message that I definitely want to convey to other aspiring artists. Like, don't give up your education for your dream. You can have both. You're able to do both if you have the discipline and the drive to do it, and it's important to you, do it. And so finishing my degree was something that was really, really important to me. And I said to Mark as soon as we met, I'm at the tail end of my degree. I have a year left. If you can ride with me just until this is over, I will be the best artist that I can possibly be, in terms of really giving it my 100% and giving it my all. And so he was very receptive. He, of course, said yes. And now I'm going to be a summa cum laude graduate on top of being a musician, which I never thought was possible. So the fact that he afforded me that opportunity, thank you.
No, it's I think who said it? Someone was just Frank Rolfe, he's a DJ. Mm-hmm. And he has his degree and he's gonna go back for his master's.
Oh, okay.
And at the end of the show, I do this thing at the end of the show, I'm gonna do it to you as well.
Right.
Just to give advice. And he said, for aspiring DJs, do not, because it usually happens around college, mm-hmm. A lot of college radio stations. And he said, do not quit school just to chase to be a DJ or rapper or artist, whatever.
Yeah.
You can do both. With the technology that we have now, Mark will wake you up at 8, that's school. Laptop, don't bother her. From 8 to 12, you're knocking out some classes. From 12 to whatever, pictures. And at night we got a show. So it's doable.
Absolutely, it's doable. It's hard, don't get me wrong. It's difficult.
100%.
But it's absolutely doable, and we really work it out so that when I'm in my classes, those are the things that I'm focusing on. And then as soon as I'm out of those classes, we're figuring out, okay, we have an interview. Okay, we have a show. Okay, you have rehearsal. Okay, you have this and that. And so the fact that I'm able to compartmentalize it the way that I am has been an absolute blessing. So I'm super excited to be able to be finished with school and really devote myself 100% to this project.
No, but you killing school. It's not you're not just attending school. Like you what, all A's?
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn it!
I've
never got an A in my life.
3.986. So it's not technically a 4 yet. It will be, hopefully, after this semester. But yeah, it's a 3.986. I'm really, really...
That is amazing.
Thank you. I'm just really woohoo!
So let's get into the music. So
absolutely.
When I met you, mm-hmm. that was, and correct me if I'm wrong, mm-hmm. And let's go by... The first song that you guys released was Modelita.
Right.
Okay. I don't want to butcher this.
No, you're good.
So let's talk about Modelita. Where did that come from? Did you have that in the chamber already?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of the songs that we're releasing now were written way before I met Mark.
Okay.
And I had those demos prepared. And that's actually the second song that we released was the song he signed me on. He heard that song and he was like, I want to meet her. And we met and we clicked, and that was history. So the first song we released was Modelita because it was summer. Mm-hmm. And it kind of was this really fun song. And I wrote it a couple years prior. And I was like, okay, I was seeing a guy and he called me Modelita. That was his nickname for me. And that was it. And it was just a very quick, really fun, upbeat song. And I was like, all right, cool. And then we changed it a little bit, evolved it a little bit, and then it came out. And it came out pretty much 2 months after we met, it came out. And I was like, oh my God, I have a song outside. This is real. That's crazy. And we did the release party in conjunction with my 24th birthday, which is insane. And I was like, oh, okay. And it took off, and that was it.
So Noma was one of the parties that you had? Or was that the one?
No, so we've had a couple parties at Noma. We've had my birthday last year. We did it at Noma. Shout out to Rob. He was absolutely amazing for helping us put that together. And then we had the release for Dr. Jackal and Mr. Hyde, which is where we met.
Yes.
And then those are the two really main events that we had there.
No, Rob is great. I actually interviewed Rob, episode 21. Check it out. He is so.
I love that.
He's so yeah. I gotta throw my shit out there. He's so good.
He really
Let
is.
me tell you how good he is. Like I have questions. Like as you can see, I have my tablet. Right?
yeah.
I ran out of questions. Like I had no more. If you look at the interview, I closed the laptop. We spoke for another 45 minutes. That's how
awesome.
This and I just want to let people know I never met this man in my life, and our interview was flawless.
Wow.
It was just boom, 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 bouncing. Because if you were a talker, I don't have to pull teeth. Yeah. Like if you just give me straight answers. Alrighty, so yeah. What else? It's so annoying.
It's tough, yeah.
But no, Rob is great. He's definitely he's the one that actually when I met Mark, I'm like, yo, what's up, homeboy? That's a hood thing, don't mind.
Yeah.
Like 100. He's great. I'm like, yes, okay, cool. No, because
it's like yes, he's cool, awesome,
no,
wonderful.
Because reputation is everything.
Yeah, no, it really is.
If you are, and you know, if you're a piece of shit, it's gonna show, and people are gonna spread. Don't do business with him. Yeah. It's going to happen.
Absolutely.
So the fact that he was like, nah, Mark is dope and Rob is dope. So it's going to... You brought up Dr. Jackal and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
That one, it kind of... I'm like, oh, babe, she cursed. So I'm sure there's a clean version.
There is a clean version.
But just the cojones to say... Who the fuck? And I'm like, oh shit, babe. And she was like, babe, relax. I'm pretty sure there's a clean version. But that part alone got me. I'm like, yes! Because it's like, how did you come up with that? And to leave the curse, how make it so bold like that?
Yeah, I think just, honestly, so I wrote that song. I was basically dealing with somebody at the time, and they were a really good person. Like, it wasn't like, you know, super acrimonious or anything like that. But like, I could very clearly see he was not comfortable in his own skin. And the way that we were, like when we were by ourselves versus when we were outside, like with his associates or with my friends, it was very clear that it was two different people. And it wasn't like he was two different people in a bad way of like, oh, you treat me like crap, like when you're outside versus, you know, when it's just us or anything like that. But you could tell he wasn't comfortable in his skin. And so I was like, yeah, nah. I was like, I'm not dealing with that. And so I wrote the song and I was like, you know, at the time, and especially I know other females probably feel the same way. Like when you're just done and you don't give a shit, it's like, that happened
to me.
Done.
My last marriage, that happened to me.
Yeah, it happens to everybody, and it's like really like
they call it the wall. Once you hit the wall, it's like there's no sorries, there's no please, there's no let's try again. It's like
nope.
Like
I'm good.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing for sure.
And then I woke up and I'm like, what? Why? Please no.
But what?
And I'm calling uncles and aunts, help me. And like, bro, she reached that point.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So there's a person out there that knows that you wrote a song about them?
No, he has no idea.
It's not about you, bro. Don't worry about
it. He has no idea. And so like a lot of the people that have had songs written about them, they have no idea. They'll never know. You'll never know.
But no, but I love it. So on top of super student, on top of artists, on top, you got to throw songwriter in there. That's part of it. That's part of the talent.
Yeah, absolutely. I think being a writer is more. When I first started, you know, being on camera and doing like this kind of stuff was very new and a little intimidating at first. I think for everybody, it's a little intimidating at first.
Oh yeah, you should see my first episode. It's horrible. I'm telling you, the camera don't lie. You're like, oh, my mom was like, bro, you nervous? Yes.
Yeah, you get used to it after a while. And I've been so fortunate that my amazing videographer, his name is Chris Tavares, love him.
He's in the building.
He's here.
He's also in security.
But he also made me really comfortable with the camera. Just because we were really cool and really good friends. He's like my older brother. The fact that we have that rapport made being in front of the camera so easy. And so really being able to just be has gotten so much easier. And so initially writing songs was my way of expressing myself. And so learning how to write a good song and really taking it kind of like being a student. Figuring out what the good structure of a song is, taking it apart, and then making it your own, being able to really quantify that really made me be able to become the writer that I am today. So I'm really excited to just
No, it's
elevate.
because like a poet.
Thank you.
You know, you got to break it down. It has to make sense.
Yeah, it definitely has to make sense. But also, like, I don't think that we should be confined by the rules and the precedents that are set. I think you should be able to write a song however you see fit. But if you want to make a marketable song, that's different from making any type of song. Both of which are valid, both of which are really important for artists. But there's a difference between a marketable song that can be put on the radio and a song that's going to be on an album that's not necessarily going to be the hit single of that album, if that makes sense.
And that's why you should buy the entire album, because you know you got the radio stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, you got the hood stuff. You know, you got the mental health. You got the mental health songs.
The mental health song. Listen, you get to know an artist through their B-side records. You get to know an artist really as a qualitative person from those songs that aren't necessarily the radio hits. You get to know them in terms of their experiences, what they like, what they don't like, and really just construct them more as a human. Because I feel like you were saying before, you don't really know me from like what you see on my Instagram page.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Or from your Instagram page.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get to know me through the music, through your interactions with me as a person, through interviews just like this. You'll get to know me more as a person. So I think, you know, having this opportunity, I just want to say thank you just for people to really be able to get to know me more, you know, through this platform and through your platform and your audience.
Oh no, Mark said I'm down with the team now. I'm family. So
oh, sweet.
you know, I'm here. I'm riding with you. I'm riding with you, baby.
Yes.
So this song, I cannot get it out of my freaking head. Me and my girl all day, sail away. In the shower, sail away. Brushing my teeth, sail away. And I'm like, I can't get this shit out of my head. It's a good thing.
That's great.
But if you're at work, sail away. Yo, what you singing? Check it out, man. It's awesome. So, you know, I'm your low-key promoter as well.
Yes.
And we're going to get into the video and everything, because and I know that was just an excuse for Mark to go back home and hang out in his island, you know?
Listen.
But it's the song and the video made sense. You know, we just watched it, you know. My producer was like, "Oh, no, let's check it out." And so we was checking it out. The video, the video's awesome. Mm-hmm. Looks like you guys were like working, but having fun. You know what I'm saying? It was awesome. That's a good time right there.
Absolutely.
Because there's gonna be a video that you're gonna film in a cold place, so get prepared. If you haven't done it already.
We've filmed some things in the cold. It was hard. It was fun, but it was hard. Yeah. So definitely, I think us as a team, we prefer the warmer climate.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to try to avoid that if we can. But hey, one day we'll do it in the cold and it'll be an amazing experience.
No, because actually you got one where you had the fur on and stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah, so you've been there already.
Yep.
No, but Sail Away is great. How did that come out? You wrote that too?
Yep.
Damn. Hey, girl.
Yeah. So the song really came about really naturally in the sense, so Mark is the type of record label that he just tells you to just write and do what you love and just, you know, but this particular song, he knew, so I was going away on vacation. I was going to go on a cruise, and so he basically told me the week before, he goes, when you come back, I'm having the legendary producer, Chris Birch, shout out to you, come and, you know, you guys are going to have a session, so I need you to be on your A game. Like, I need you to hit this, you know, hit it out of the park. So I said, okay. I was like, all right. And so he gave me his repertoire, his entire discography. And so I listened to a bunch of his discography, and I was like, okay. I was like, I get the vibe. I get, you know, what he's about. And when you meet him in person, he's like the happiest dude on planet Earth. He genuinely is. And the kindest soul. So I was like, all right, I need to make something happy. I was like, this has to be the happiest record, like, ever.
This ain't Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, this ain't no Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I was like, this needs to be the happiest record ever.
Yeah,
so I went away, and I met 3 other girls on this cruise. And when I tell you, we had the time of our lives. My mom was with me. Their parents were with them, and so we just became this one mega group of people, and we are still all like best friends to this day. And so I just wrote the song about that, and I was like, just having a really good time and just having that feeling of just having an amazing time with your friends and family. And so that is kind of where the song came from. We came back, recorded it within, I think, an hour or 2. And that was it. And it came out a couple months later. And here we are.
And now I can't get it out of my head.
I don't think the
I'm
way.
gonna do it on camera. Sail away. This is what I do all day.
away.
No, I love it. And then so now we got, and this is the order, correct?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
the order.
I want to keep the order.
Yeah.
So now we got questionable, which is
Yeah.
awesome. That's another, like you just keep coming with the bangers. So let's talk about questionable. What is that about? Is it are we going back to Dr. Jackal and Mr. Hyde territory?
Kind of, but not really.
Okay,
so that was written in the same session as Sail Away. That was recorded the same day. So it was, written around that same time. And so when that was happening, there was some men in my life that were very questionable. I was like, why are you self-destructive? Like, I don't understand. Like everything is fine. Like, why are you being this way?
It's just what we do.
You know what? I can't speak for that, but it seems like it. But it was very like a cathartic sort of like, it came all at once. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And it just came. And so questionable was just, it doesn't really have like a story the way that all the other, songs have a story. It was more so a real question. It was like, why are you like, so the lines of the song is, I don't understand why you lie like that. Feels like we're always in combat. And so it just, sometimes those relationships really do feel like you're always in combat. It's like we're always fighting about something. And so, it was really just asking myself a question of just like, why am I here? Like, why am I doing this? And so, that song really came super naturally. And, now it's out. By the time this is released, it's going to be out in the world. And so...
May 2nd, right?
Yeah, May 2nd. I'm so excited.
You saw what I did there, right? I'll be studying.
Studying.
But, no, I love it. You keep coming with them things, man. And, let's get into a very happy moment that, because one day I want this moment. The billboard in Times Square. What was that like?
Wow. It's really hard to just like put that into words just because that moment was kind of like a cultivation of like, I'm just trying to get my words right because it was so emotional. It was insane.
Do your thing.
It was so insane. Just, I felt like the little girl that didn't feel understood or didn't feel accepted or was the weird girl that sang a lot. That was the title that they had for me in school, the weird girl who sang a lot. Very validated in that moment of like, wow. Like, you did your thing so well that they put you on a billboard in Times Square. So the fact that, we were able to make this thing that was so accepted and loved by so many people and related, people really resonated with that. And the fact that we were able to display it for other people to see was something that was indescribable. So the fact, everybody who put that together, I have nothing but gratitude and love for everybody who was able to really do that for me. And it's so insane. It's still a moment that I can't really like, it's like, those moments that it's like, oh my God, I can't even believe that even happened. It's like that.
No, and the good thing is that there's gonna be more billboards.
Absolutely, that was just the first of many.
That's just first of many, and you're on the right path. So now let's talk about the legendary show you did. I think you opened up for Mr. Vegas.
I did, yeah.
What was that like? Legend, by the way.
Legend. It was really surreal. It was really fun in the sense that the audience that was at that show were so engaged and so excited to be there. And so the fact that I was able to capitalize on that energy and really just give such a phenomenal performance and have DJ Unique there with me. He calls me baby sis, so big brother. To have my big brother up there with me, and just doing our thing and doing what we love to do. I think people forget that as artists, that 10, 20, 30, 2 hours on stage, that's what we love to do, which is just entertain people, relate to people, and really just be so present. So the fact that we were able to do that and, really relish in the energy and relish in that just positivity, because it was nothing but positive, was so insane. It was so awesome. Like, just being able to do that. And then for the legendary Mr. Vegas, like, I'm like, yeah, when they asked me, like, how did it feel? I'm like, amazing, insane, like every positive adjective in the dictionary. Like
100%.
like
Back to performance, because I don't think I asked you in the beginning. What was your first performance? Were you ready for that?
So my first performance was a debut in Noma, and it was really fun. I was definitely prepared. I was definitely prepped, but I think, like you said, you know, being new to the entire game, being new to that environment, I still have a long way to go in terms of being the performer that I know that I can be. And so taking the first step is just step one, but that's still a humongous step. So I give that version of myself a lot of grace, because at the end of the day, that was my first time performing that type of genre in that type of environment with that type of a set. So I think the more that I do it, one day it'll be out of the park. And I'm super, and the fact that we're doing it now and it's going so well is something that I'm incredibly grateful for. So I'm super excited. Woohoo!
No, I've never done. No, I'm thinking. Have I been on stage? I've been on stage, but it's like, you know, the artist is over there. I'm doing my thing. But as far as the talent, so I can't even imagine what that is. You know, that it's probably like you know, like the camera in front. You know, when I started, and it's nerve wracking and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nerve wracking at first, but you.
So Noma was your first.
Yeah, Noma was my first for sure. Absolutely.
So now. And you even admit it, you're getting better.
Absolutely.
This is and it's, I'm pretty sure even the big stars, every performance, every MTV, every whatever, you know, it's just better and better. Fall, get back up, whatever.
Absolutely. There's always room for improvement. I think if you stop growing, whether it's in school or as an artist or in any career, if you stop growing, you know what I'm saying? You're not learning and you're not getting better and you're not reaching that full potential. So there's always something to improve upon. There's always something to fix and, you know, be able to really grow upon. But at the same time, giving yourself the grace that I'm still learning. So I think there's a balance of like, don't be so hard on yourself, but also keep pushing.
Stay humble too.
Yeah, stay humble. Absolutely.
Because you could kill one show and then the next show is trash.
Absolutely.
And it's like, oh, you thought you would have won.
Right, exactly. So just definitely
the game
keeping
will
that
humble you.
yes, keeping that perspective is huge. Keeping that perspective of what it's all about, for sure. So I'm definitely growing, and I'm still in development mode, as Mark puts it. You know, we are building this from the ground up, and so the fact that I've come so far in 10 months is insane and so humbling and so exciting. It's just so exciting. I think that's the best adjective that I can use for it, is just it's so exciting, because something new is always on the horizon, and I'm so excited about that.
I could imagine how do you and Mark call each other? What's next? And he's like, oh, we're going over here again. Oh, we're going over here. So it's just like, whatever, bring it on.
What's really funny is he doesn't really tell me stuff. He's just kind of like, usually like a week or two, unless it's like a bigger trip or like a bigger festival or like a bigger performance that we really need to put a lot of work into. 9 times out of 10, he won't usually tell me what's happening until like the week of. He'll be like, oh yeah, so you're going here. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Dope. Great. Awesome. And then we just go and knock it out of the park. And
make it happen.
Yeah.
Speaking of knocking out of the park, what was, it seemed, and then you guys just released the BTS, the BTS on the bar for bar. What was that like? That looked like pure, like whatever talent you think you have, whatever talent you know you have, whatever talent is in your heart is gonna show that in that room.
100%.
What was that like?
So that's my favorite performance to date, for sure. Absolutely. I grew up doing live performances like that, where you have a live band and you have there's no cutting corners because it's all live. That's what I grew up doing. And so the fact I was able to get back to that was such a full circle moment, and really just be able to display my artistry and display what Jackal and Hyde could be, just because Jackal and Hyde is such a tender song. It's really an emotional song about empathy. And so, you know, when you have that with a drill beat, don't get me wrong, still, if you look at the lyrics, super empathetic still. But people are like, you know, more so talking about like, oh, you screwed me over, like, screw you, da-da-da-da-da. And that's a totally valid way to interpret the song. But with this version that we did for Bar, I was really able to exhibit the true intention behind it. And the people who were there, everybody at the Bar for Bar set and the Bar for Bar crew was absolutely incredible. They were so kind. They were so gracious. And they really let me do my thing. They were like, this is your moment. Do you. Sing the way we know you can sing. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay. And we did it. And it was one of the best experiences that I could ever ask for. So that was, you're totally right though. Like on that stage, anything that's in your brain, anything that's in your soul will come out for sure.
Oh yeah, you might cry up there.
Oh, for sure.
That looks like a crying moment. Mom's gonna have to come in and fix your face.
Dry it here. No, I think she definitely, it was such a really incredible moment, and my mom happened to be there for that as well. And we afterwards, she was like, "You were you," not to say that anything else wasn't me, but she's like, it took me back to when you were a little kid doing a talent show a cappella. Like, it took me back to you just falling in love with music all over again. And I was like, that's what it felt like. It felt like falling in love with music all over again. And so having that moment was insane. It was so awesome.
No, it was great. It was super awesome. And I reposted that too, damn it. I am a reposter. I'm down with the reposting.
Absolutely.
Oh, by the way, but before the week, and I'm going to just let your team know now.
Uh-huh.
The week before, the week during, and the week after this comes is just promo. You might get annoyed, So I'm just letting you know.
Never annoyed. It's always going to be pure love. So I'm super excited.
No, I'm down. And then we got so many shows here. We got what was the Bring the Noise car, truck, and bike show? Was that another? That was like a festival stage type of thing.
So that's coming. That's May 3rd.
Oh, that hasn't happened yet.
That hasn't happened yet.
Even better.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet.
Will this be out by then? We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
But that hopefully is going to be an incredible experience. I'm super excited. I'm working with, my dancer. I have, a lot of really fun elements coming. So stay tuned for that when the film comes out for that. But we're super excited to just put this show together exactly how we want it and just really be up there with some amazing names. And really just make.
There's a lot of artists in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of artists in there, and that's super exciting. Just to be able to not only just network and meet your fellow artists, but to be able to observe and watch them perform their craft. I think there's so much, there's so much knowledge in terms of what other people can bring to the table. And so I think as an artist, you're not peaking at your potential unless you watch what's around you.
Oh no! When I'm a guest on other podcasts, and I'm like, yo, these people got their shit together. Like,
yeah,
like, they have like, whoa, and I'm like, I gotta get my shit. Like, it's not like you don't want to steal, and you don't want to bite like we used to say back in the days. But it's like, wow, how are they there? I want to get there, whatever that is.
Right. Not even where they want to, where you want to get to. It's more so how they implement how they do it, and so it's like, okay. Like you said, not steal, but more so if you see an artist that's able to do something that maybe is your weaker point, right? Being able to see how they do it and implement it in your own way. Mm-hmm. Like you see where they want to go, okay, how do I get there? But doing it in your own style, in your own way that's still unique to you. Because at the end of the day, we're all individuals.
Yep.
So by being able to implement it in your own way is key, because at the end of the day, the audience is going to know if you're copying someone else.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you need to do it authentically to who you are, but still get to where you need to get to.
It's just being professional, learning.
Absolutely.
And like we just said it a while ago, learning.
Absolutely. That's what this season is all about, learning and being able to put out the best music that we possibly can.
No, fire. What about the tropical block party?
The tropical block party was
that
awesome.
was 105.5. This is Florida. Is that your second home?
Yeah. At this point, yeah. I mean, I loved Florida even before, and I had a whole bunch of experiences in Florida, both with my dad and with my mom, and both of them genuinely love Florida so much. So the fact that I'm able to now go there as an artist and really have the listeners at 105.5. The same thing with Dr. Doom up in Jacksonville, shout out to you. Have all of these amazing audiences just be so receptive to me and welcome me with open arms is something that I can never ask for. So the fact that they've been so gracious in that regard is so awesome. It's so amazing.
No, I'm telling you, once people are around you, once they see you, you're just gonna like, you're gonna kill it as far as it's gonna be organic love. You know what I'm saying? Because people want to see good people do good.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
and you did this, that's what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, oh, I got this girl, I got this guy, this rapper, whatever. Everybody got friends of friends that want you to, and it's like, all right, I'll check them out. And then like, nah, I'm good. Like, nah, I'm good. Back in the days, maybe Mark can tell you, we used to throw CDs out the window.
Oh.
So someone would be like, yo, check out my artist. Play, yo, that's out the window. But in your case, they're going to give you a chance. You're going to keep killing. Any other shows that you did in Florida? Or that was only two?
So we've done a couple. I mean, we've done two in Fort Myers, and we've done one in Jacksonville. And we did, I believe, one in Daytona.
Yeah, keep killing.
Yeah, so we've done a couple all over the place. So we've been really fortunate that everybody has been so receptive and so open. And at the end of the day, change is something that is a constant force in music. And so the fact people have started to become more receptive to meeting new artists, to watching them grow, watching them instead of just gravitating to only the big names. So the fact that we've been given such a gracious opportunity is something that, as an artist, you're like, oh my God, yay.
No, and I'm telling you, just the reason why the 10 months have been awesome is because you're working.
Yeah.
And even with me, I got people saying, yo, you out there, you working. Because as the consumer, as the fan, as the supporter, if I'm a fan of you and I gotta wait another 8 months for another song, I'm gonna lose focus.
Absolutely.
I want to support you.
Right.
I'm like, yo, Rielle, what's up? What's the new joint? And you're gonna be like, oh, give me a second, we're working, but there's nothing coming out. We're gonna move on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's TV shows, that's movies, that's everything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep, because right now everyone just does this. They're just flickering.
Yep.
So the fact that you got a plan, I know you. I was on the live with you that time a couple of months ago.
Yes.
Chris Berg was on it too.
Yes, he was.
So you guys have you got songs coming.
Yeah. So
you guys did like 5 or 6?
5. Yeah. So with Chris Birch and myself, we've done 5 together. And then we have a lot of other songs that are coming just from the New York side. So we have a built-in studio here in New York that's portable, so we take it everywhere with us.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm consistently writing. I am consistently, I literally just wrote a new song yesterday. Like my best friend got, I'm actually not going to say anything because she's going to watch this. So Bree, I know you're watching. But, it's just amazing things are happening in life in general. And so writing is something that's so natural. It's so natural for me to just pick up a pen and just begin to write something new. And so the fact that I call him Chief, so I feel weird calling him Mark, but Chief is so receptive to hearing anything that I have on the table. And so the fact that, I could go to him tomorrow and be like, hey, I have 3 or 4 new songs. He'll listen to them. And if he genuinely feels something for them, we'll go in the studio the next day. And even if he's not necessarily feeling it, he'll still give me the opportunity to go ahead and develop it and really build it. And even if it's something that we don't release, he'll still give me the opportunity as an artist to still make it anyway. Because I think some things deserve to be made, even if they're not going to necessarily be the most marketable thing in the world.
Yeah, keep it in the collection.
Absolutely.
Get it out your system.
Yeah, exactly. Get it out your system.
Get it out your system. And not everything is for the public.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
it could be just for yourself, just to have it.
Absolutely. There are a few songs that I know that will never see the light of day. But the fact that they're made and I'm able to have them is more than I can ask for. So I'm super excited. So
Well, not only that, let's say you meet another producer or even with Chris and he's yo, what you got?
absolutely.
Oh, I got like these 10 songs. Let me hear them. And now he grabs it. He does, his magic, and now, boom. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I just let it out, just let it out.
Absolutely. And just to continue evolving as a writer. I think, like any skill, it's something that you have to develop and you have to learn and you have to continue, really honing in on your craft. Because at the end of the day, writing is like anything else. It's a muscle. You have to continue to do it. And so the fact that I'm consistently writing and putting that effort into that craft is something that I'm proud of myself for, but definitely the fact that everyone around me has been so, you know, really like passionate about my writing, and they've been so receptive to it. Like I love my mom to death. She's here, so I know she's, you know, she's always asking me every couple of weeks. She'd be like, so what are you writing? Anything new? Like, because I don't show her anything until it's finished. So she's like, have you been writing anything? I'm like, yeah, Mom, I've been writing. Like, and so the fact that she's on my butt about it, I'm like,
just in case you ain't writing, we're going to make sure you're writing. You know?
Just in case. No, but she knows. The good thing also is as much as she'll push me, she also knows when to lay off. She's like, all right, just let her do her thing. She's being an artist.
What is Dad's part in your growth as far as what's going on right now?
So my dad's growth, and rather involvement in my growth,
yeah.
is how do I say it? So he's not a public person. He's not, you know, he's never been one to be in the public eye in any way. Unlike my mom, who's very like okay with being.
She's with the shits.
Yeah,
we're going to Vegas. Let's go.
Like she's in the video type. She's like, all right, cool.
She's in the sail away video. Find her.
But you know, my dad is not that way. He's a very private, introverted person. So he more is involved from afar in terms of he wants me to be really strategic in terms of, you know, my assets, in terms of making sure that I'm not being taken advantage of, in terms of like, hey, like make sure the things that you're doing are coming from you. You know what I'm saying? Instead of writing a narrative for other people, like instead of being the artist that everybody wants me to be, just staying true to who I am as a person. So that's really where his involvement comes in. He's been super supportive of everything that we've been doing. My dad has actually spoken to Mark, which is kind of hysterical. And like, you know, been really receptive to everything that Natural Bridge has done and is continuing to do. So those are really where he comes in. He comes in and more so just like being strategic and just being like, hey, like, I'm proud of you. And so the fact that he's proud is something that I'm really happy about, just because, you know, he's out there. He's doing his thing.
I could imagine that call. Yo, Mark, we good? We good?
He'll call
you
my
mom. You holding my girl down, right? We good, right?
Listen,
all right. Listen,
not even. He's more like, he'll mostly call my mom. He'll be like, is she okay? Is she good? like everything's all right over there?
It's a dad thing to worry about.
Yeah, it's a dad thing. And so Mark has like been like a dad figure to me as well. I always tell him, I'm like, hey, what's up, Chief? Like, you're like my dad. And he's like, yeah, I'm like your dad. Grr. Like,
no, but it's you know what, keep that. If you don't get nothing from this interview, I'm gonna talk to you about. Mm-hmm. I'm a dad. You know, family is everything.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Keep your family close.
Yep.
You know, the team is everything as well. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna grow. You're gonna get more members of the team. You're gonna get publicists. You're gonna get whoever, and they are gonna have to, you know, adapt to what's already happening. You know what I'm saying? And no one coming in new to fix things. Like, this is already what it is.
Absolutely.
Whoever gets hired next, you know, it's a blessing, and this is how we flow. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So just stay blessed, and it's going to be great. I see
super
awesome.
excited.
I see awesome things happening.
Thank you. I mean, that's kind of the way that we've been running it as it is. You know, Mark, he runs a tight ship. And so what's working for us and the things that we see are working for us, you know the saying, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep.
And so having people that have the same mentality, have that same vision, have that same drive are the people that we're looking for. And, you know, the fact that my family has been nothing but supportive. So I have an older cousin who I adore. She's like my sister. And so I think this is the first time I'm actually talking about her, like in public, which is kind of crazy. But she's always been supportive of me since I was, you know, little. And the fact that she, you know, aside from my mom and my dad and like my grandparents, you know, she's been that one pillar of support, and has always done her best to understand me as a person. And so when she sees that, like, I'm not on my game or that I'm not, you know, the way that I should be, she's the first to call me out on it. The first.
You need them people.
Oh, she's like the first to get on the phone. She's like, Gab, what's wrong? What's going on? I don't understand. Hello. And so the fact that we have those family members around, like you said, family is everything to me. And so the fact that I have such beautiful people in my life, not only from a team perspective, but from a family perspective and a friend perspective, I could not be more blessed. So I'm just, oof.
Nah, you killing them. So yeah, just stay blessed, and it's gonna be great. Believe me, just keep putting that work in. Let's talk about some surreal moments. If you had what was your number one as far as? Don't even put them in order. Just give me your top three, like
Top
surreal
three.
moments. Like, oh my God, this is happening. You mentioned a couple.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so tough because every moment in this entire thing has been surreal. I think for sure the billboard was definitely in the top three. Hearing my song on the radio for the first time,
yeah, I can imagine.
was another one.
Did you call your mom?
My mom was there.
Oh, even better.
My mom was there.
I'm always there.
She's always there.
Wait, the camera. She just said, "I'm always there." I love it.
like I'm always there. So no, definitely that. Hearing my song on the radio for the first time was definitely another one. I think definitely being in the room with, and this can be, this one moment can be converted into a bunch of moments just because being in the room with so many people that you've idolized or you've looked up to, or that, that they are some major players, being able to sit down with you, one, give you advice, but two, really admire what it is that you're doing and really give you those accolades. So like, for instance, we were in, you could see it on my page, but you could see.
That's my next question, by the way. Let's just get to it so we can smooth it out.
Sure.
Any artists that you've been starstruck? So just say what you're gonna say, but now it's there.
Absolutely. So I've never been starstruck per se, but I've definitely been really humbled and really just like, wow, like that's incredible.
That's that person.
That's that person. So like Egyptian was one of them. I was in the studio in Jamaica, and he happened to be there for whatever reason. And so he went into one of our sessions, and I think this was, right after, or no, before Sail Away had been released. And we showed him Sail Away, and he genuinely just started doing this. And that became the dance. That became the dance that's associated. And
Fire.
so the fact that he took it to it like a duck to water, he was like, this is the coolest joint I've ever seen. This is so sick. He was so humble and so kind, and he just sat down with me, and he was like, he gave me some incredible advice that I am sure to stick to, and that really resonated with all of us as a team. And so the fact that those types of moments have happened, like the fact that I met Busta Rhymes was insane. I was like,
I saw that.
I was like, oh, cool.
And he didn't give you like a little quick piece. He actually spoke to you. So.
Yeah, we genuinely spoke, and he was like you, he's a dad, and so he really gave me that kind of advice of like, my kid is in this industry, I'm in this industry, stay rooted, stay grounded. You have an amazing team around you. Like, do not let that falter. Don't let that go, because that's the moment where those that they see that they're unprotected, that people are going to be able to see you at your most vulnerable, and you don't want that. So things like that, like those types of moments of like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like those are the moments that I was like, that's insane. So that goes in with the surreal moment and the starstruck moment together.
There you go. But but you know what it is too, that these people have been doing it for so long.
Yeah,
they've been doing it for 30 years.
They're legends.
You know what I'm saying? Plus, so to see someone brand new, doing their thing, I'm pretty sure they get taken aback as well. And they don't want, it was a totally different game back then. You know what I'm saying? They were terrible people, just robbing these artists of everything, publishing,
But that's a problem that's
masters.
still
It's still
attributing now. You know what I'm saying? That's still such a humongous problem for us in the industry, for artists, advocating for ourselves, being able to have things go in an equitable fashion that's not only profitable from a label perspective, but that's also profitable for those that are around the artist as well. And so I think definitely like the game has changed. The game has evolved, as you so eloquently put. But I think having those legendary artists that have been doing it for 15, 20, 30 years really embrace a younger artist and a newer artist such as myself, and really embrace them to be like, hey, we see you, and we don't want you to have to endure what happened to us, and so having that level of like, wow, like that's something that's, because there's so much gatekeeping in this industry.
100%.
And it's like so weird. Like I never really understood why that's a thing. So the fact that they weren't gatekeeping that type of information of like, hey, like we want to see you strive. We want to see you thrive. We want to see you really get to the fullest potential that you possibly can, and that you had the team around you to do it. The fact that they were so gracious with my team is something that's really important to me, because at the end of the day, there would be no RIELLE if there wasn't a team behind her. And so that having that treatment go for not only me, but having that kind and equitable treatment for my team is something that's so important.
No, I love it. How many places have you been yet? I know Florida.
So we did Florida, we did Connecticut, a couple of cities in Connecticut. We did Boston, like I said, a couple of cities in Florida, Jamaica. We haven't performed in Jamaica yet, but that will happen soon. That will happen at some point.
Oh,
like,
Chief will make it happen.
Oh, for sure. Like, what? So I definitely have done so much in such a short period of time, and I'm just so excited to see where we go next. Just because I know that the possibilities are endless. Like I have that deep-rooted faith that it's all gonna just come to fruition.
Is New York the market or LA's the market? Like how do you know where to go and when? Because
I think taking over the East Coast first, New York is undisputably the most difficult market to break into. And once you're sort of able to break into New York, you're able to then spread. So, definitely. The New York market more so is my main goal for now. But expansion is the only thing that you can do when you are wanting to grow as much as we do. So LA will come. It will all come. And that's the thing. It's just about timing.
Yeah, because even with like acting, they'd be like, oh, we're going to move to LA and, go to all these auditions. And I'm like, well, wait, New York is popping too, right? Or it's one or the other. It's like, it depends.
It depends on what industry you want to get into. So like, for LA, you're mostly there for movies, you're there for film.
Okay.
Music is definitely over there, but it's a different type of music. So like if you're in the urban market, New York is where you want to be. If you're in the mainstream pop market, LA is usually where you would want to be. But we're not one for following rules anyway. Like that's never been a thing at Natural Bridge for us to follow the quote unquote the status quo of what you're supposed to do.
Yep. At
the end of the day, if it's going to take off, it's going to take off from wherever you are.
And I think it's a blessing for us because I'm a New Yorker as well. Not to knock these small towns, but if you're from Utah, I think you need to get out of Utah. Like you need to go to New York or LA because it's so and like I said, no shade towards these little towns, but Florida, Chicago, LA is like where you need to be seen because
absolutely.
It is what it is.
There are epicenters everywhere within the United States. I can't speak for anywhere else in the world, but I know that there are epicenters here where it comes for music, when it comes for film. And so if you want a dream to really come into fruition, you have to be in the right environment in order for it to grow, in order for it to be, to really flourish. Because at the end of the day, you're going to make those connections in these epicenters.
Networking is everything.
Absolutely.
We networked.
Yeah.
In Noma.
Oh, yes, we did.
Well, you met me for the first time.
Yeah.
That's the last one. That's the last one. We good now. We good.
Listen, again, I got a thick skin. I'm good for the jokes. But networking really, like you said, is everything.
It's everything.
And like the fact that my networking with Natural Bridge happened as organically as it did, that's how really I knew in my gut that this was the right move. Let's
get into that. How'd you and Mark hook up?
My mom. My mom.
What she do? You went to Yellow Pages or something?
No. So here's
find a label.
No, it's actually so insane. So my mom and Mark were working out at the same gym.
Look at that.
And so they became friends. Really randomly, just really organically, they became friends.
It's the universe.
It really was the universe. This is what, like, I'm going to tell you the story and you're going to be like, oh my God, this is really like, that's how I knew that it was the right move. So they met, and maybe about 6 months into their friendship, she knew what he did for a living, but, it didn't really like align yet. And so somebody brought a record to Mark's attention with a different artist of a completely different genre and everything like that. And so he listened to it. And so he asked my mom for her opinion. He was like, what do you think of this record? And so she listened to it. And she was like, I think I have something better if you're willing and open to take a look at it. And he was like, okay, cool. So she sent him 2 of my demos, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, on another record. And he kept listening to it. He says, play it again. Listen to it again. Play it again. Listen to it again. And he was trying to figure out who it was. And he goes, who is this? And she goes, that's my kid. And he goes, get the hell out of here. She was like, yeah, that's my kid. And he goes, you have a kid that can sing and you didn't say anything for 6 months? And she's like, no, like it never came up. Like it never really like, it never came up before. And he goes, can I meet her? She goes, yeah. I met him that day in Noma. I met him that day in Noma. And
Noma, we need a check, by the way. Said Noma like 15 times in here. God damn.
Sponsor us, Noma.
Noma, New Rochelle. Rob Solis. There you go. You know, what else you want? What else you want, Rob?
Listen.
Sorry.
But no, it's all good. And so we met at Noma and we instantly clicked and we instantly bonded. And so he was like, can I hear like whatever else you have? And I'm like, yeah. And I showed him Modelita and I showed him a couple of others. And he was like, I want to sign you. I was like, what? He's like, I want you to be the next big thing. And I genuinely believe that I can get you to where you want to be. And the thing that Mark said to me that really sold me was, I want you to be exactly who you are. I don't want you to have to conform to what these other girls are doing in order to be who you are. I think you as you is going to make it the way that it should be and have a longevity in your career that a lot of people that are in the industry are too short-sighted to see. And I think with the right development and the right team around you, we're going to make it happen by just being yourself. And that's really what sold me. And so I was like, okay. I was like, if you genuinely believe that we can do this, I think we can do it. And I know that you think we can do this. You know, I've waited. He says this to me all the time. He's like, I'll never forget what you said during our first meeting. He's like, are you ready for your whole life to change? And I was like, I've been waiting 24 years to have this entire opportunity. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm 100% ready. And so that was it. History was made, and that was it. I love
these kind of stories.
History was made, and there it is. The rest is history. And
so before that, you was focused on school.
Yeah, I was going to go to grad school. Yeah,
straight A's, by the way. I'm going to keep saying that. Straight A's. I've never had an A in my life, so I'm just,
listen.
I'm a 65 student, you know. C minus. You know, that's my area.
Listen, you have A's everywhere else.
Hell yeah, I love it. What is your dream duet, male or female?
Wow. Ooh. So it's really difficult because my artistic style is so versatile that I can pretty much adhere to whatever genre. And so the fact that, you know, if I had the opportunity, I would. So I say this in every interview, but I'm going to say it again until it happens. That's Elton John is the first one for sure. I think having a duet with him would be absolutely mind-blowing and just... I think we could write something absolutely beautiful. Yeah. So Elton John, if you're listening. And then I think from a female perspective, there's so many like incredible artists that I'm just like, damn, like this is so cool.
See, now I need 3. There you go. See, I wanted 1. Now I need 3.
Now I need 3, man. Like so.
Oh, Elton 5, John, whatever you want.
Elton John is the first for sure. I think right now in the market, just having something with Tyla would be really fun. Mm-hmm. I think it would be such a fun, interesting collab for both of us. So I think Tyla would be another one. And all right, I'm going to put this into the universe just because she's new. She's like a newer artist. Her name is Rachel Chincherry. I probably butchered her last name, so don't hate me. But Rachel Chincherry, she's an artist from the UK. She's absolutely insane, and her songwriting is so beautiful and melodic and so simple. So the fact that I think we could absolutely kill a record together. Yeah, so those are my top 3 for now. That could change.
That could change next week.
That could change tomorrow. Elton John is, probably the only one that'll stay forever.
Before we get to final thoughts, what's coming up next?
So what's coming up next is just more records. I think right now we're in, like Mark has so eloquently put this entire time, we're building this from the ground up. So from a development standpoint, I'm still developing, I'm still growing, and I'm still trying to find where I fit my lane. And so I think, what's coming next is more amazing banger records. I'm so excited for everybody to hear all the things
Are we still doing the once a month thing?
So yeah, we are still doing the once a month thing.
One song a month, right?
Yeah, so one song a month. March was a little bit difficult just because we were traveling so much.
Yeah.
And so we were really focusing on traveling. So now that we have, things have kind of slowed down a little bit in the sense that we're still traveling, but because my school work has now diminished greatly because I'm graduating, we've been able to really focus on getting back to that once a month deal. And so, listen, who knows? Maybe we'll have, plus with the success of Sail Away, like we've been really focused on Sail Away because we didn't expect it to blow up the way that it did. So that's really where our head is at, is questionable now on May 2nd and really going into the summer with the Sail Away summer so strong. So we're super excited because we know we have the world at our feet.
No, that's amazing. And now this time of year is more shows and more festivals as far as outside. That's the thing, right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Because when it gets cold, now we got to go inside.
Right.
But now it's going to, so you're going to be busy.
Yeah.
Are you going to the gym? You got to get the legs ready.
Listen, I'm in the gym. My choreographer, Futura, has me in those like 8-hour rehearsal type deals.
Yeah, you got to make it happen.
So my butt is getting kicked. But I am so excited, though. Even Mark is like my trainer, my CEO, and like my dad all in one. So he's like, all right, I need you to, I know him because it's getting warm outside. So he loves to train outside. So he's going to call me in like at 7 o'clock in the morning being like, you ready? Let's go outside. We're going to go do a lap.
Wait, speaking of outside, where were you when you was doing the, you was, I think, a morning walk or something, but it was like an interview at the same time. That was awesome. Where was that at?
That was in Largemont, actually. We did that in Largemont in Manor Park. So we did that there. But we do morning walks like that all the time. You don't understand. Like with Mark, he'll get up on his little walk and he's do a little speed walk. And we'll have our this nice deep conversations of where we're gonna go and what we're gonna do and really planning sessions and stuff like that. And he feels so much better after, and then he gets a what is it? A white egg. It's an egg white omelet with cheese. I think it's with cheese and like peppers and like all that kind of stuff. No cheese?
No
cheese.
cheese.
Excuse me. I have to set the record straight. No cheese.
No
it's
cheese.
no cheese. It's peppers and onions and things. But he gets this egg white omelet and we start the day. So that is gonna be starting back up really soon. So just like you said, being outside, being incredibly busy. I'm super excited though.
I think that's important because I can't do that shit. I wake up at 4:30. I gotta be at work by 5. I gotta get my bus. I gotta shuttle the rich people around. So I don't have morning walk. What is that? I can't do that. So the fact that you can do that is a blessing.
Absolutely.
So just keep rocking.
Just having the flexibility to do everything. I think now with school with my education coming to a close, definitely having the ability to be able to fit the things that we need to fit in a day. Because at the end of the day, as Mark so eloquently puts all the time, the train has left the station. Now it's up to us to continue riding with it. And so, and not let it, kind of pass us by. And so the opportunities that have been coming our way have been so transformative and so exciting. And it's like, oh, wait, really? May 3rd is coming, and that's going to be the biggest show that I've ever done. And I'm so excited for that because that's just a stepping stone for the other shows that are bound to come. And so I'm just thrilled. I'm so excited. Everything is...
That's next week.
Yeah, that's next week.
Yeah, this will be out the 23rd-ish. But May 3rd was awesome. I guarantee it was great.
Listen,
it went well.
Listen, by May 23rd, knowing my wonderful videographer, Chris Chaveras, will have video footage of how it went and everything like that. So you'll be able to see those things. Once you see this interview, you can click out, go to my page, and see it.
It'll all be great. Speaking of school, because you keep mentioning it, are we done with school? What is bachelor's or associates?
This is my bachelor's.
Are we done, or are we gonna
So
a little timeout?
It's going to be a little time out, more than likely. My mom is a big advocate for me getting my master's. That's just something that,
That's another 4, Mom?
Yeah, it's 2 years. 2 years. But it's
Master's
something...
is only 6 years?
No, 2.
No, 4 and then 2.
Oh, bachelor's and master's is 6, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I could have got my freaking bachelor's. I could have got something. I didn't get shit.
Listen,
Damn,
school is not for everybody, and that's something that also like
Yeah,
people need to like give themselves grace for. School isn't for everybody, but I think I did always want to sort of get my master's in one way or another, and so right now my focus, like once I finish my bachelor's, my focus is obviously going to be primarily RIELLE.
Yeah.
Once I have a little more stability, quote unquote, whatever that means.
Good luck.
Maybe a master's is something that we'll toil with. That will be a possibility. But I know it's one of my mom's big dreams.
So we're gonna have a graduation coming.
Yeah, we
You
are.
bringing the cameraman with you?
We are.
That's not the artist. That's the personal.
No.
But come to the personal too. It's okay.
No, I mean, so
it's part of the artist.
Yeah, I mean I'm so excited just because like my nearest and dearest are going to be at the actual ceremony. Not to say that Mark isn't my nearest and dearest, but my grandmother wants to be there, so I kind of have to adhere to that. I have to appease her. So
you're giving away Mark's ticket?
I'm not giving away Mark's ticket. Mark is going to be there, like, just outside. He's not going to
be outside?
Listen, I know Mark, he's not going to be able to sit in a stadium.
He'll be fine.
With a million people.
He'll be fine.
For 3 hours. There's just no way. He's too antsy having to get up and take a call.
And he has no problem giving grandma that ticket.
Yeah,
it's
exactly. So we're going to probably do something after that to commemorate and to celebrate.
And we'll probably go to Noma. Again,
yeah. Let's call a spade a spade. It's probably going to be at Noma. But knowing Chief, it's going to be at Noma. But the fact that he's been as supportive about my degree, because most labels would be like...
He kept his promise.
Yeah. Like, and here's the thing. Most labels, and this is why I keep saying, I keep bringing them up in every interview, and I keep bringing up Natural Bridge and Mark, is because he's allowed me to do both, whereas most record labels, big ones like Warner, Atlantic, would have told me to drop out. They would have absolutely
We got to get to business.
Yeah. They would have told me, it's either you continue to go to school or you take this opportunity. Either or. Because, so the fact that he has allowed me to pursue both and has allowed me to he has known that how much it's important to me and my family for me to continue and to finish my degree is absolutely, it just really hits home in such a different way. So, like, come on, y'all.
No, congratulations.
Thank you.
So what's that? That's in June?
No, May 30th.
May 30th?
Yeah.
Wow.
A week after this comes out,
so I guarantee.
I graduate.
So and me and him have not had this conversation. I'm just guessing this was going to happen. So he's waiting for you to graduate, right?
Yeah.
He has like 49 things lined up for you already. So
that's not a question.
June 1st. Everything's just flying. You ain't got no school no more. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom.
No, genuinely, he told me that the minute that I told him that I got approved, because you have to get approved to graduate, right? So the minute that I got approved and I told him that I got approved, he was like, okay. And he's like, get ready. You need to
Yeah, because there's nothing to hold you back now.
No, exactly.
Let's get busy.
Exactly. So it's going to change, but in the best possible way.
Oh, 100%.
In the best possible way.
It's going to be great.
I'm so excited.
So, final thoughts. That can be
thoughts.
advice. That could be lessons for future artists. That could just be whatever's in your heart. Final thoughts.
Oh, final thoughts. I think like as the culminating sort of thought for this interview, which has been so awesome.
Thank you.
Allow yourself to pursue the things that you care about while pursuing other things. I don't think the one dream has to be the sole focus. I think you can pursue your education. You can pursue that music career while pursuing that full-time job. I think having the ability to multitask is huge. In terms of lessons and things that I would kind of want to pay forward, change is good. I think that's something that's really, been at the forefront of my journey. Don't be so sticking your heels in for change, because I know me as a person, as a personal person, right? Change has always been something that I've struggled with, and this journey and this opportunity has taught me that you have to embrace change. Change is the only constant in life. And so being able to embrace change has been hard, but has been so worth it. Has been so, so worth it. So having those lessons to be more diplomatic, to be more forgiving, to be just a better person in general has been amazing. So I think definitely those are some final thoughts. I don't know, man. I think my life has changed in an insurmountable way. It will continue to change in an insurmountable way. So I think keeping, like you said, keeping your family and your loved ones close, keeping those who you know are for you close, you know, and to block out that negativity, block out that noise, because at the end of the day, you have to sleep with you at the end of the day. The person that you have to be happy with is yourself. So I think really doing it your way and doing it in the way that you feel happiest doing, I think that's where it really counts, you know?
And there you go. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having us. We are I'm so grateful. This was incredible. And, you know, your show has been so amazing just to be able to watch it grow from when we booked this to now. You know, you guys just celebrated 50 episodes. So congratulations for that.
Yes. Thank you.
So insane. I've watched so many episodes and I'm like, this is so cool. I get to be on this. Whoa.
No, I appreciate it because you know, me and Mark go back and forth. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Because
just thank everybody.
and that's just to show the grace that I have that you guys even came to my show. You know what I'm saying? And you're looking, and Mark's looking at it like, no, thank you for having us. And so this is what we do. You got to see our inbox. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you.
But I think it's that mutual respect and that mutual grace that you guys have for each other. And
because I'm growing too. I'm growing with you.
Listen.
We're growing together.
Now we're on the same team and we fam. We're going to just watch each other grow. And listen, right. I'll come back. If you guys will have me, I want to come back. I want to come back. Episode 100, I want to come back.
Hell yeah, make it happen. But thank you for coming. Thank you, Rielle. Mom's here. I don't want to butcher his name. Chris is here. Chief is here.
Everybody's here. Everybody's here.
But thank you. This was great. And that's it. We out. Peace.
Peace, guys.
Awesome.